I wasn't allowed lime cordial when I was a kid because it used to make me like hyperactive. But I was allowed orange cordial. That was fine.
There's different ingredients. That's why.
Yeah. Do you ever have red cordial?
This is sugar in the end, is it?
What is this now? The counselling show?
I can just imagine. What is it? A cancelling show?
Hello and welcome to episode 14 of the Alex, Mitch and Trent show. How are we doing, Mitch?
Good. So just quickly, sorry.
Yeah.
Where does this numbered thing come
Yeah,
from?
why is he doing numbers?
We've done 13 episodes and the 13th
This
was
is
when you
14,
decided.
it's episode
This is
14.
I'm saying we've done 13.
I thought it would be
last
probably
a
episode.
good way to...
I don't like it.
I like it.
I like it. I mean, it's different. It's unusual, but
It
where's
is a
it been?
change, yeah.
Where's it been?
I am just trying to add little things that just make the show a little bit better and better. It's just like how we keep on adding to my outro and my intro. I'm just adding to the intro and to the outro. Yeah, and so I thought...
Does that mean when I do my outro, I have to, instead of doing the or don't, I need to add something else?
You already added it. It's Adios Amigos.
Yeah.
You've added to
We've
it.
done it.
Do I keep adding? Or
do
not maybe? Or like, what do I... Trent,
Or maybe don't.
or maybe potentially we should not maybe do it. I don't know,
I'll
man.
most likely be back regardless with another episode. Episode 15.
I think
Imagine
it's just
episode
nice
100.
continuity. Because I think eventually we're going to get closer and closer to recording these. Like we record a bit ahead in time, but I think eventually we're going to have this streamlined in a way where we might be coming back to some episodes and all that sort of thing. I just like the idea of numbering them, so eventually is that back in episode 14, and then when people listen to the start of the show, they know what's going on. They know what episode it is. Some people don't read the titles. I'm just letting people know this is episode 14 of the Alex, Mitch and Trent show. Where today...
You know what that is?
I don't
14 weeks.
14 weeks of it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, 14 days, I think. We're doing this back to back. Where have you been?
Hey, how are you, Mitch, today?
I'm very well.
You're very well?
Very well.
And Alex?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, yeah. And
Good
producer
and well.
Jason?
Good and well. I like that.
I am alive.
Alive, and that's good.
Getting better.
We're all alive.
Which is great.
Breathing.
Yeah. Today we'll be talking about our fears, really. I think that's what we're going with today's
Fear.
episode.
We'll start with fear, and then we're going to extend on fear.
Fear.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Trent, what do you think?
Fear?
Fear? That was his fear right there, summed up.
Yeah.
He doesn't like intros,
Put on the spot.
outros.
Just
Yeah.
throw the question with
Yeah,
no time to prepare.
Recent fears are intros and outros, and
Yes.
I actually think about... I'm not fearful of doing it. I love doing it. I just like adding to it. But anyway... Fears, yeah, I guess our childhood, what we have fear now, what we might fear in the future, all that jazz.
So, yeah, starting at childhood, do you have any childhood fears?
Childhood fears. Did I have childhood fears? I think everyone has a bit of a fear of reptiles and snakes and all that sort of thing, right? Me, of course, mine's going to be a little bit weird. Do you remember that witch that would climb out the TV? What's it from? It's like...
The Ring.
The Ring, yeah.
we did that
Samara
same time.
from The Ring.
Yeah, The Ring, yeah.
Really? Why were you watching The Ring?
My parents weren't really like strict on what I watched. I'm the sixth child, so it's sort of like, the others survived, you'll be right. Fast and loose energy.
Turned out magnificent.
I used to get bad, and obviously I shouldn't be watching it at that age. I used to get bad nightmares about that, and so when I was a child, that used to scare the shit out of me. To the point, I think the first time I remember sleepwalking, and I remember my sleepwalking experiences, we've spoken in the past about this.
Sleep kissing.
It's a delicate kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, delicate kiss. Yeah, kiss. Sorry, it wasn't kisses.
Or was it the most delicate kiss you've ever had? It's up there. Yeah, you're thinking
I
about
don't
it.
know. Mitch is a pretty delicate kisser. When he needs to be.
They are some nice
It's elsewhere,
lips.
though.
So I used to get like vivid dreams about that, and I remember like it being attached to the color green, and it coming out of the family computer in the kitchen.
Oh, that's scary.
And like taking my mum away. And then there being like this shit on the walls, and like I was walking around and I walked into the kitchen and like where she came out of, like there used to be this green light on the computer, and it used to be for the floppy disk drive.
Was this back at the court?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I remember that light. I'm joking.
Oh, well, by the time you saw it, I was over it, but it used to be I remember that thing blinking, man, and it was.
That's pretty scary, man. That's a valid fear, man.
That was my fear when I was a childhood fear. Yeah, but other than that, bad dreams were I guess I was fearful. Yeah, let's just go with that. It's pretty normal actually.
Do you have any?
Bad dreams.
Yeah. I have this weird childhood dream. Like probably I'd say a fear would be fear of the dark. Like I didn't like sleeping in completely dark rooms. But probably this really strange. I don't know if you guys have even heard this story, so it might be a bit educational. I had this dream when I don't know how old I was, maybe like 7 or something. But I couldn't. This one dream, it kept recurring, same dream, and it's probably going to make no sense. And you're going to think this is dumb, doesn't make sense. So I was dreaming that I was like, there was a train line and there was a train. Okay. Wait, everyone. It's not going the way you think it's going. There'd be this train and it'd have these superheroes on it, and they were like evil superheroes. And every time it would happen, I'd wake up screaming, and I don't know why. There wasn't this.
Holy shit!
There wasn't this like I'd get like taken away or anything. It was just these really scary superheroes on a train, and it was like a choo-choo train, not like a train like not one of those. And that's a perfect picture for Instagram as well, a choo-choo train. Yeah, but it was imagine like a Thomas the Tank Engine, like one of those
Cruising along.
Yeah, cruising, and then these evil dark superheroes, and I was just like, and I'd always wake up every time, and then I'd have that recurring dream of that happening. Yeah. That is my story of my childhood fear. It would basically be the dark and this one train dream with these dark superheroes, like these evil ones. Yeah. No idea why. Yeah. What about you, Mitchie? Any childhood fears?
Childhood, it's been the same for years. Anything that can have any sort of impact on my brain, like something that would stick with me. If it feared me at 3 years old, like still sometimes it'll have like a reoccurring, like a moment of it. Like it'll come into me like randomly in a dream, and it'll wake me up straight away. But just anything that's like to do with like my world, and then something out of the ordinary that's obviously like shock fear. Like that's.
Like jump scare stuff?
Yeah. Like jump
like
scare.
a train with superheroes kind of thing.
Yeah. And then one thing that used to scare me was about when I go to sleep. I was a terrible dreamer as a kid. I used to have terrible dreams all the time. And those slow motion dreams when someone's coming at you.
That is the worst. And I hate that so much.
When I was a kid, for many, many years, like many years that I remember, I was always it was weird. I was like a 3 dream a night person. I'd have one normal dream, and then I'd wake up, have a drink of water or milk, go back to sleep, and I'd have an absolute, what the hell, like just one of those slow motion, someone's coming at you, there's a fire around you, and I'd shit my pants.
I hate them.
Wake up, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'd look around, okay, yep, I'm sweet, whatever. And I'd go back to sleep, and then I'd just have reality dream, like a reality dream after that. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that, but that was my thing as a kid. Anything that jump scared me would jump scare me in just, whether it's just in my own mind, but I'm just like, off with the fairies. Like, I'll just randomly think about it and I'll actually react to it. But yeah, that was my thing as a kid. Like I was very imaginative, and if something shocked me, I could think about it and it would shock me. It's great. Yeah.
It's almost a skill.
I loved it.
Almost.
Loved it.
Almost.
Do you have a dumb fear?
Dumb fear.
Yeah, I think the fear of bad dreams is totally like a fucking like a huge one. That's but that was my thing. I was afraid to go to sleep. I was fearful going to sleep growing up.
I also had one of my fears as a child was scary rides. But that was more of I was scared to do it, but I'd actually feel unwell when I go on it. So it's like, it's a fear. I had a fear of it, but then these bastards over here took me to bloody was it in Queensland? No, it was Universal Studios in America. They strapped me in that chair.
Strapped her for a good time.
They literally, we lined up and I'm like, oh, is this ride bad? And they're like, Alex, it's so relaxing. It's so chill, man.
Which ride was it?
It was the Joker, the Asylum one, wasn't it? That was
Queensland.
Oh, the Queensland.
Is
That was
Joker.
the first time.
Yeah,
And then the Hulkbuster.
the Hulk one.
Yeah. So the first time was that one, and I'm loving it.
He wasn't loving it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a few of
I forgot where that saying comes
Yeah,
from.
that
I'm
was
loving it.
yeah. It was me. I'm loving it, but a couple of F-bombs in there as well.
I get fears triggered by different random things. Like, yeah, I think not exactly what you were saying, Mitch, but I remember no apple. Jason just put an apple on my face. I got you. No, this is gonna sound really weird, but I remember a lot as a kid growing up on Channel 10. They'd play The Fifth Element a lot. And every time I used to watch it Friday night sort of thing, or late, I could be up late because not a school night. I remember going crying and have a fear of death after watching like the first probably quarter of it. I fear it, and I would run into my mum and I'd be like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'd be crying. She just told me to go to bed, and I went to bed. I woke up next fine. But every time The Fifth Element installed the fear
Is that the one
of
with
death
Bruce
in me.
Willis and the chick with the red hair?
There's a lot of action in that.
Yeah.
And
Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich.
why? I don't remember what that movie's about. It's a great movie. I've heard great.
I
things about it.
don't think it's about much. I think it's just full blown impact, and that guy's
I think it was
that guy's a police guy, and she's someone that he wants to protect.
the
Action.
taxi.
Yeah, the
scenes,
taxi. Oh, he's a taxi
the floating
driver.
He's a taxi driver.
And like all the action scenes and that, I don't know, it was just people
Yeah.
flying left, right, and like dying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was afraid of falling off something high. It was just random. But I remember this stuff, and I just remember like being totally scared. Maybe I'm very sheltered in that regard. Is that's all I have to fear? The Fifth Element installed the fear of death in me.
There you go.
Guess what? Our Instagram post is going to be The Fifth Element DVD.
Once again, Trent, this is not the counselling
Counselling,
show.
no.
Yeah, no counselling.
But
Yeah.
I found the fear of death. Yeah.
I found And how does that compare to now? Like with those fears, like Mitchell said, you said yours are
Mine
basically
have
stuck.
progressed. Like, anything,
They have a grown
I've just
snowball.
got a stockpile of things that just shock me. And just
I walk-
occasionally they just rock up and I'm like, wow, okay.
I walk in the room, hey Mitch, oh shit!
Like, you know how reactive I am. Like,
yeah.
anything really scares me, and then
So-
I'll never forget that moment either.
So all those times, correct me if I'm wrong, this could be completely wrong. All those times you're sitting there sleeping, you just wake up and like jolt out of nowhere. Is that
Dude,
that?
Oh my god!
I've seen him do it. Yeah,
dude, that was the next thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Does anyone, like, I will
he
be,
literally jolts.
like I've been tasered. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm asleep and something happens, like just,
You have a very fight or flight response, like fight response.
Oh,
Like, yeah.
if something shocks me in my dream, I wake up and my whole body has like a mini fit. Like no shit.
It's pretty arty,
gnarly.
like arts to watch. You watch it, it's like, wow, that's a beautiful thing to see.
But anyone that's, I mean, like we've had that many slumber parties or whatever. Like,
Slumber party. Slumber party.
I love a slumber party. My God. That's what I call it.
Our friends listen to this show,
don't give
and
a
we just
damn.
called it a
We had
slumber
slumber
party.
party.
When
Right.
we have our pillow
Slumber
fights.
party.
We had pillow fights.
Before bed, we have a pillow fight to tire ourselves out.
We have to unpack
We had slumber
the
parties.
slumber
I don't
party.
give a damn.
Now that's another episode in itself. There you go.
Yeah.
So you said it snowballed and gotten way worse, basically.
Yeah, and then and literally that's something that from time to time would just wake me up and keep me awake for ages after. 'Cause my heart would like literally race for ages. Crazy.
Yeah, well, I have conquered the dark. I can sleep in a dark room now.
Yes.
I actually can't sleep without it. I need the dark. The dark has snowballed on me and become bigger. I need the dark. It's the opposite. I've done. If I see light, I'm sad. I need the darkness to go to bed. The choo-choo train. I can't even say it. I'm that scared of it. The train dream. I haven't had that in a while, which is good. And my other fear of, I guess, heights or that scary ride stuff.
Progression.
Was progress. I don't mind going.
Yeah.
I'm literally will go on any ride as long as it's not something that spins. Because when it starts spinning, my guts
You're a
just start
churner.
churning. Yeah, and that's probably the word of the day. Churn. I love
I
that
don't,
word.
I don't
You
think
are.
that's a fear. I think it's just more how your body's built.
Yeah, that's literally not designed for me.
Yeah.
You know, some people like motorbike racing. Some people like spinning a lot. I'm not a spinner. Okay? Don't spin me and put me upside down. But if I can do the upside down ones, if they do it really quick. But if you just hang there,
How are you with like? You probably haven't experienced enough of them to know, but like G-force, like,
that's all right.
do you get a rush from it?
Yeah,
or
it's
is it
nice.
Just like
You're
That's
flying a
a-
roller coaster
And then-
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
roller-
you're
I don't
on a
mind
roller
roller coasters. They're fine.
Yeah.
But as
It's
soon
just
as,
anything. So as soon
as
as,
soon as
that,
things sit upside down and,
and
just
start
you're-
spinning, yeah, that's fair enough.
It's the spin.
That UFO one kills you.
I can do that one though.
makes you
The
sick every
Gravitron.
time.
It does, but I'll do that one because I have no
The
fear of
Gravitron.
it. The
Yeah.
Gravitron.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I don't
think
love
so.
it, but
That's so much
I'll do
fun.
the ones I don't like are the spinny ones that go up and do the triple spin
yeah,
spins.
yeah.
They're the worst.
Yeah, like so the claw where the part
No,
that you're
thank you.
sitting in spins around.
No, thank you.
know
Yeah, I
that
love
one?
it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh, No,
thank
fun.
you.
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah.
And you know that's who we are. I'm happy to sit there and watch the boys go on and have the time of their life while I'm sitting there
like
with my
Dad
tummy
watching
not
us.
churning and I'm smiling. I'm like, yeah, guys, good job, keep up the good work. And what about you, Trent? What about your 100 nugget fear that you haven't done?
Nah, I'll get there. We'll work that one out. But I think I've definitely conquered the fifth element, and I've definitely.
We're gonna watch.
I've heard you screaming before.
I want to watch. I want us to watch it together. We're gonna watch the fifth element.
The witch and the fifth element I have conquered. We should record ourselves while we should have like a watch
the fifth
thing.
element.
Watch the fifth element and do commentary
Watch-
over it.
Reaction video.
Yeah, watch Fifth Element. It's just us sitting there staring at the screen.
Not even that.
Wow, that's cool.
Millions of views.
No, but you do like a talk. You talk over it. You talk over it. Over
Yeah, I
the
know,
thing.
No one wants a movie to be talked over. They want to watch the movie.
That's why I don't go movies with me.
What people do actually is they time it. So the movie starts with us, and they listen to our commentary while they watch the Fifth Element.
Just me going. The whole 2 hours.
So someone will watch
Adding
a
your own
movie,
sound effects. Yeah,
and
I
then
do it.
someone is literally
I do it.
a movie, and
I-
someone's just there talking.
I actually will do it without the movie
I
sometimes.
could not think of anything worse.
And they're talking about the movie, and I just remember the movie, and I'm just listening to them talk over the movie, the commentary. I like commentary.
I can do it for like Scrubs, like a TV show.
Yeah, how good? Yeah,
That's
good.
I
okay.
do it with a video game. Like I watch.
That's like streaming. Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, yeah.
So that with
Same,
a
same.
movie. Yeah, interesting.
I couldn't do
works.
it for. I don't think I've done it for movies. I've done it for TV series because it's good if you've already watched it. It's not like I'm going to put on a new episode of thing and just listen
Yeah.
to the commentary. You'd already watched it before and you're learning new things about the film. Like that was as soon as you introduced me to that, the commentary of the Scrubs, I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's just yeah,
And they just literally talk about
it's almost
this.
a podcast.
This line we just said. You absolutely nailed that line. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, they critique their own stuff and how they grow. Yeah, it's the whole thing. And the witch, I think I've become the witch thing. I'm cool with that stuff. I don't know. What are we talking now? Our fears, what we have today. Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think, I'm probably my biggest fear in life that I didn't really have as a kid because when we all lived as kids, it was beautiful because we didn't care about things. But oh, how things change as we get older and we get responsibilities. My probably biggest fear in life is to never have a regret. And this is like the deep side coming out. And I don't want to go too much into it, but I think that's probably the biggest fear I will have in life is I want to make sure I don't have a regret. Like even if it means like messing up, making mistakes is cool, but just not having a regret. That's probably my biggest fear. And that's going to go on until I die.
Yeah.
What about having a mortgage in this current time of recession? And
I think I've just accepted the fate. That's not a fear anymore. I'm just stuck in my situation. Well, actually, the documentation is going through right now, so the fear is still now, and then it's when it's signed, and then it's over.
I think, Alex, you have a work ethic, and you can back yourself with your loans and mortgages, and it's like, that stuff doesn't scare me because I know I can work my ass off and pay off a loan and pay off a mortgage. That sort of stuff doesn't scare me. What scares me is my goals, accomplishing my goals, and like. I think I move my goalposts a bit with that sort of stuff too, and it's like it's almost regrets. I'm scared I won't accomplish that stuff, and then I add new goals all the time, and I accomplish small things and big things. So yeah, my goals scare me, and I'm fearful of my goals. What about you, Mitch?
I don't know. Mine are like all like very different to your two.
Yeah,
Mine's
that's
just
why
mine's
there's three
just like
people
a
here.
mental thing. Like I don't know. I've set a standard on myself, and that's been something that I've been fearful of. Is I'm behind on where I thought I'd be, and that's just been something that keeps me up. But I don't know if it's a fear or if that's just a thing. But aside from that, not really anything fears me. I'm pretty confident to do anything I want to try. I'm not afraid of heights anymore. I'm not afraid of the dark. Horror movies, I still won't do them. Still won't do. Maybe that can be mine. Horror movies, I will never overcome because my little imaginative brain just takes it and holds on to it for dear life forever. So if I watch a horror movie, that's in my head forever. So I just can't do horror movies.
As I stand here and hold this beautiful red gummy bear, I realise I have two loves: this gummy bear and the producer's pick. Go, Jason.
Why, thank you, Alexi. That was probably one of the best throws we've had this season. I do appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And now, to our discerning listeners, it is now time for the producer's pick.
Just so consistent.
I stood up for that one. That was a different angle. I like that. Where it was standing up. It hits different.
Because he's very tall. the projection of the voice.
And for next week, I'll be doing it in Mariah Carey's whistle tone.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. Okay, so this episode, we've been talking about fear. Ooh. But there is another kind of fear. It is FOMO, fear of missing out. So, boys, I put this to you. What do you get FOMO about?
We probably get it all about the same thing.
Yep.
We literally
Missing out on a sesh.
Trent's greatest motto. We should do a podcast on that one day. Trent's greatest motto, which is the biggest lie, which is the truth, and
It
it's
is the
beautiful.
truth. And
There is always another sesh, correct, but there'll never be one the same as that sesh that you miss out.
That's the full part.
Yeah.
You don't say
Yeah, you
that
don't
part.
say
You
that part.
just say the first part. My kind of answer to this is more of a strategy and how I kind of handle it, I guess. Is that? I'm sorry, I'm veering off a little bit. Yeah.
He loves a veer, doesn't he?
I love a good veer.
Got to stay on that rickety track, Trent.
Yeah, my old boss gave me this little motto: is less FOMO, more Lomo, and it's building a love of missing out. Just be okay and content with like missing, build that, and that doesn't come instantly. You can't just snap your fingers. It's just like, I don't know. You build your strategies to kind of be okay with that sort of stuff. Just be, just know that you're going down a path. It's your life, and it's hard to explain it, but your story is continuously being written. So just because you're missing out on a part doesn't mean that there's not another great part coming. And that's just sort of how I've. I'm still young. I'm mid-20s. I'm still a fucking idiot, But that's just sort of what I've kind of learned over the past few years. And especially with COVID, I think we missed out. That's a big FOMO. We missed out on 2 years of our life, and we're in a new era right now. We're out of this, and I think it will. Big things that have come still, and just be hopeful and just kind of take that into perspective. Like missing out on a night. You got the rest of your life. Family comes along, and that becomes a whole different ballpark. Building a house, going on holidays, just different places, different experiences. You don't realize of what's to come, and it's not just that night you missed out with your mates on a Saturday night.
Yeah. It depends on where you are in certain parts of life, and I think the reason why I think FOMO would be even bigger now with nights out is because they don't happen often.
Yeah.
We do need to, let loose and just enjoy. And when one pops up, make as much effort as you can, put in that little bit of extra money towards it when, the next one might not be for another month or so. So, I think my little takeaway of the FOMO kind of situation is kind of like treat yourself. Like that's why I love school holidays because
Treat yourself.
treat yourself. Yeah, like I know that I've got my 2 weeks of my holidays. Yeah, I might be spending a little bit more money. But I know I'm going to be working hard for the next 10 weeks straight afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what? Fuck sitting there and worrying too much about, I could have spent it on this or I could have stayed in and saved a bit of money. It's like, you know what? I'm going to throw a bit of money there because I know that it's going to be an incredible time. So, yeah, that's kind of my thing. We all hate missing out on things, but yeah, if sometimes things pop up and you just can't do it. So it is what it is.
It is
what it is. What about you, Mitch?
It's a bit of a broken record for this producer's pick, but yeah, just any opportunity to spend with the people I want to spend time with that I don't get to have sucks.
Yeah.
And just working on dealing with that. I'm starting to learn I'm not starting to learn. I've always really enjoyed it, but I'm understanding that it's more okay to just sometimes not do anything.
Yeah.
Even if there's something on.
Probably the essence of life.
And sometimes, maybe, especially after COVID now, I may look forward to that a little bit more than I used to, being just in my own. But if there's something planned, it would,
make those moments a bit more special.
Yeah.
Even if they're spread out a little bit more, sort of thing, and be okay with the few weeks or time apart.
Yeah,
let's accept
definitely.
it.
That would be my biggest takeaway for the whole FOMO situation, and it's basically what you said, Trent. Like, it's learning to be happy with yourself, and times where you don't need to not rely on other people or need someone else to be happy, whether it's just your best mates, your partner, or whoever it is in your life. Being alone sometimes is actually a nice thing, and I never really had that growing up. I would always be in a full house of people, same bedroom, like always around people. And that's probably my favorite thing about my life is I always have people around me that we all love each other and take care of each other. But at the same time, finally, when I had that time to be alone, and that was during COVID, actually, I had that awakening when I was sitting there just watching the footy by myself. And I was like,
missing out.
Yeah. I sat there and I was like, this is the greatest thing in the world. I'm sitting here by myself watching the footy.
Cranking the Soldier Boy.
Cranking that Soldier Boy. I'm trying to think how to add to that, but I got nothing. Yeah. I think sometimes missing out it can lead to some incredible realizations or awakenings, I guess you could say.
There's one thing that I'm gaining as I get older. I'm getting more FOMO for missing out on the opportunity to celebrate milestones with people I care about.
That's a huge one.
That's something. As I'm getting older, milestones are getting more important in general. But for me, I'm finding milestones like for me to be able to be with, whether it's my milestone, having the people that I want with me, or somebody else's milestone, to be able to celebrate that and be a part of that. Missing out on that, for me, that's something like, as I'm getting older, I don't want to miss any or many of those at all. And that's one thing that worries me. That's one thing, yeah.
I think coming together, and then those sessions now where we do have we're all together, is just bring your piece, bring your part to the...
Bring your part to the puzzle?
Yeah. I think, in our group of friends, and we're all together, we all just complete a piece of the puzzle. We all... I is being able to make that puzzle piece better each time. As I said, for my friends and my family, is just always a nice thing. And I think you build more upon that when you're on your own. That's what I've found recently. I'm learning a lot more, and yeah.
All right, Trent's ready. You know when he's silent, that's when he's focusing on the outro. Let's do it. Oh, the drink! Wait for the cough.
It's going for the Dutch courage. It's going to push it.
He's gonna need more than that. Oh no, the faces. I can't wait until we go live.
He's looked left. He's got an idea. He's got an idea.
He's got it.
I'm watching you.
Austin Theory.
Oh no, he's looking straight on. He doesn't want to look at the other side. Oh no, he's still looking left.
Rub the lips.
You can see he's still kindly looking left.
Here we go. Let's give him some silence. That's where he thrives.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Alex, Mitch and Trent Show. Mitch, where can you find us?
You can find us all over all your favourite podcasting platforms, mate.
Yeah, and Alex, where do you want to follow us?
I don't want to follow us.
Where would you?
Okay.
I
I thought you were asking me. That'd be weird.
Where's our place that we would do that?
On Instagram, young man.
On Instagram,
Yeah.
So you can follow us on Instagram, and you can find us all on your favorite podcast networks. Don't forget to
did
rate
just say
us
that.
5 stars.
You asked me that question. I answered
Why
it pretty well.
is he repeating himself? That's weird.
I'm just reiterating for everybody. So I want people to hear it twice and get stuck in their head.
Yeah, fair.
But thank you so much for tuning in.
He muffed it.
Tune in next week.
Oh, don't. We'll be back regardless.
Adios, amigos.